Hey guys, what you see on my back is the US Assault Pack 2 by Mil-Tec. My old backpack was one pocket, I think about 25 liters. It was okay, but I wanted something a bit bigger. Not too big, just a tad. And I found this one in a shop. It was pretty cheap. I didn't know much about Mil-Tec, never saw a review on it. I know there are a few, but they're just presenting the product. I'd like to tell you what I think about the product after 1.5 years of using it. And that is, every time I came into the woods, every time I went to a cabin, every time I went somewhere for 1-2 days, not overnight in the mountains or with a tent, but just everyday use, you know, even just taking stuff from one place to the other, including laptop, clothes, and gear. So if you care about it, keep watching. This backpack offers more things than I actually use, but with time, I guess, you find a use for everything. For example, you do have some straps here that are meant to go around your waist. I never used those. However, these I did use. I guess you get the standard with the bigger backpacks, and you can put a blanket here or an isomat if you pack it down really tight. You could exchange these, put bigger ones on, and even a tent would fit, or a sleeping bag if you pack it up tight, which I think is just a sweet deal to have this option. If you don't use it, you can cut them off or just leave them there. They don't really bother you. However, carrying an isomat down here is not the most comfortable thing. Okay, enough about these straps. Let me get to this pocket, which is a great pocket. It's really big, and what I use it for is whenever I come into the woods, this is where I keep knives that I want to test, play with. Miscellaneous stuff. Or should I say miscellaneous knives. The Savage is a big knife, and this one fits in here. Right now I have 6 knives and a hook knife, and this one's not packed to the max. There's room here, very comfortable, very handy. Whenever you don't use this in the woods, you know, if you just want a backpack to carry stuff, I guess you could tell best what you could put in here. The small pocket here, this is where I keep stuff that I like to get to first. For example, I'm using this carabiner to string my backpack on a tree. And this always sits here. Whenever I leave, I'll take this, put it in my pocket, and I get to where I'm going. I don't have to put my backpack down to set it down on the ground. Might be wet. I can just string this up. Also, this is where I keep my hammock chair. 2 sets of strings, whatever. Things you want to get to first. And this one's, there's a lot of room in here. I have various things here. Doesn't really matter. Now, there is, and you can see this one's not packed to the maximum. You know, you can actually lose this tension straps. There's more size to it, but right now it's packed about, I don't know, 70%. The middle pocket is big enough to fit a laptop. I have I think a 15-inch screen laptop. I'm not sure. It's big enough to fit that and the extension cord, so the charger. It's big enough for that. You can also fit, I think, if you have an external hard drive, no problem. This is where I keep, for example, right now, the tools that I would need, the big ones. I have my big knife, my saw, a Mora, and a small axe. You can see it fits that. And also inside this pocket you have another small pocket, and that's how I manage to keep things up here so I don't have to dig down to get to stuff. Let me close it up. And then there's the big pocket. Now, before I get into the big pocket, I like to address two problems. When you go out in the woods and you pack your backpack, especially in the winter, I always have an extra item of clothing, even in summer. In winter I might have two. And then there's water, maybe food, miscellaneous stuff. You're going to need these pressure straps just to pull it tight so you don't stress the zipper too much. Now you can maybe see I only have one part. I don't know what you call this, the locking mechanism for the zipper. I only have one because the other one broke. I did load it up a great deal, and I did carry the backpack a great deal. So the one that comes from here broke, and you either replace it, I don't know how, or you get a new one. However, this has become very uncomfortable because if I string it up on a tree and I want to get to something that's up here, I still have to unzip it fully to get to stuff. You know, and then if you have stuff here, it's going to fall down. That's one part I don't like. One thing I don't like about it. They should have made them a bit more resistant. Now, the second problem is that this strap, I don't know if you can pick it up, started to come undone. You can see the fuzz right here, and it's losing threads, and it's going to come off. Now, I'm going to attempt to sew that back on, but I would have rather had it not come undone. I use these straps mainly to put my jacket on the backpack, you know, where I hike, I go uphill, you sweat if you don't take off clothes. And also I keep my tripod for the camera, for my phone, I keep it on one or the other side. Once again, you have these straps that you could attach gear to. I never use them. However, you may have noticed what I did start using for a while now is the strap on the shoulder strap. And this is where I keep my Essie. Since I modified it further, I really enjoyed having this one, and you know, you get in the woods, you just have a knife ready to go. The retention on the Kydex sheath is pretty good, and this one's practical. You know, you can just take it off in a few seconds. So that option I have started using. That's why I say, you know, even though I didn't use it in the start, it was an option, it was there, and I'm using it now. I never ever used this pocket right here, but you can. And this padding is actually pretty decent. The way it's set up on your back, you don't have a mesh compartment here that leaves air between the backpack and your back, so you will sweat, but it's really comfortable, so I don't have any problems with that. Also, this handle, they did a good job sewing this on it, because I keep hauling it like this, yanking it, and nothing happened. My backpack usually weighs, I would say, at least 10 kilograms. When it's packed to the max, I do put some water bottles inside, sometimes just for exercise, and I get up to 15-16 kilograms, which is not light. Okay, now the big pocket. Only problem with it is now I have to zip it all around. But you can have a lot of stuff here. You have this inner mesh. You can see it. I keep a shamag, my hat, and some cashews. And here, an extra fleece. I have some parts of an isomat that I cut, water bottle, and my day kit. Also here you have a little pocket with a zipper. And that one does come in handy for things you don't want to lose. But also, don't forget to make a mental note that you put something in there, because I lost a knife in there, thankfully. I'm thankful for the fact that I lost it in there and I didn't lose it anywhere else. And if it's not packed to the maximum, you know, zipping it up all the way around is pretty easy. So this was the presentation / review of the product. Overall, I think it's a good backpack. And maybe if you wouldn't put so much stuff and so much weight in as I do, it would last you longer. You wouldn't have the problems. I guess if I would have packed it every day like I did today, you know, just for the weight, not for the bulk, you know, it would have worked. If you put a lot of clothes in it and close the zippers carefully, they might hold out. If you don't stress the tension straps so much, might not break. However, I think it would be really great if they would put better zippers on it and double stitch the straps, you know, just the points, you know, that are going to take a lot of jerking around, a lot of pressure, like the handle. The handle on top is great. I've just yanked it off the ground. Everything's okay. Hope you liked the video, and I wish you all a great day.